All right, you came back to Match Math and More. That means you like me. You really like me. We're in lesson 2-7 and the math expressions dealing with properties, commutative, associative, and distributive. I'm actually going to do this in three sections. So this is part one, the commutative property one. Not too bad, pretty easy, like sipping a nice cup of coffee with sugar in it. Alright, so first things first, we're starting out with the commutative property. Just something to keep in mind when you're talking about these properties, the commutative property and the associative property, that they work with just a couple of the operations. So the operations in math were adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. These are all related to each other, obviously. These guys here, we'll consider them like cousins, adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. Excuse me, adding and multiplying and subtracting and dividing. We're going to say that the commutative property and the associative property only work with these cousins right here. So when we're talking about these two properties on these videos, we're only talking adding and multiplying. This is the only time that the commutative property will work. It will not work on subtraction or division, so don't bother thinking about it in this terms, only here. And another thing we got to think about is, what does the word commute or commutative mean? And it really just means back and forth. Like to commute, like I commute to work every day. What do I mean by that? Like in the morning I wake up at my house, and then I go to work at my school because I'm a teacher, and then so I get in my car and I drive to my school. And let's pretend it's 10 miles. And then at night, I go back home, so I commute, and it's still 10 miles. But one of them's going this way, and one of them's going this way, so I'm driving it forward and backward, but it's still 10 miles. The commutative property works that way. So like if I'm adding 5 plus 2, going this way, is 7, and 2 plus 5 is 7. It's just kind of how do you reorder these numbers in your head to make the easiest math possible. Here's a super easy example of a commutative property that you'll see in tonight's homework, or that you just need to be aware of. Like let's just say you're doing 35 and 76 hundredths plus 21 and 2 tenths. That's the same as, that's what equal means, same as, like it's a balance, an act, equals 21 and 2 hundredths. And this seems like a trick, like, oh my god, this is such a hard problem. It's really such an easy problem. You just add 35 and 76 hundredths. So it doesn't matter if you did it this way or this way. See, they're the same problem. 35.76 plus 21.2, or 21.2 and 35.76. This is one demonstration of the commutative property. Here's another one that will really make your life easier in addition. Let's say you got a pretty lengthy addition problem. Looks kind of like this. You got 80,000 plus 70,000 plus 58,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,000. And you're thinking to yourself, well, you could just do traditional addition. Or you could reorder these, because commutative property is reordering something, doing it in a different order, to your benefit. I look for groups of tens, because tens is so easy to work with, and fives. If I can't find tens, I go for fives. But anyway, I can see groups of tens fairly easy here. Like in this one here, I could see this being 100,000. That's one big group of 10, 80 and 2, 10. So this is 100,000. I see another group of 100,000 right here. So it's really easy. In my head, I know here's 100,000, 200,000. I got 58,000 left over, so it's 258,000. You may not realize it, but when you're thinking like this, grouping by tens, you are using the commutative property. Will that be 1 lump of sugar or 2 lumps of sugar? Wow. Guess it's just 1 lump.